Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this information session for the 2022 TAPS Cheer State Championships. My name is John Skees. I'm the Director of Media at TAPS. I am joined today by Brian Bunselmeyer, the TAPS Executive Director, and Rhonda Smith, the TAPS Director of Fine Arts. Will Dixon from the TAPS office staff is helping us out behind the keyboard today. This information session is obviously pre-recorded. It's going to be made available on our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/TAPSBiz. You can also find it under the Resources tab on the TAPS website. That's taps.biz. We record it so that you can share it with anybody on your campus that needs the access to this information and so that you can review this as needed. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Brian so we can get started.
Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here with this review session for the TAPS Cheer Championships for 2022. TAPS Cheer Championships are powered by Express Cheer. Thank you to Chris and his staff. They'll be there. They're getting the judges. They're working the cheer world end of it. We're working the rest. So thank you to Express Cheer for once again powering the TAPS Cheer Championships. We're so thankful to be going to the Bell County Expo Center. Address is up there on your screen. It's also on the fan information page. So the Bell County Expo returning to Belton, Texas. There are a few facility rules. While most people think COVID is in the past, we've had a few schools get hit with it recently, but also the flu is coming in. So make sure that you do what you need to do to keep your students and staff healthy while you're on site. Social distancing is still encouraged. If you want to wear a mask or need to wear a mask, you definitely won't be counted down for that as we go through this flu season. Parking is going to be shown on the map we're going to get to in a minute. Team areas are anywhere upstairs, up in the bleachers. The one thing that we would ask is please don't make team areas directly in front of the competition stage. We want to leave that for our paying fans as much as possible. Team meals are available. We do have Chick-fil-A's throwing out some information. You'll see something on that. You can also get team meals anywhere you want. The only thing that the facility has said is no outside food or drink in the arena itself. So no outside food or drink in the arena. Concessions will be open both days, all days, so we look forward to having the concession stands open. And again, outside food and drink, make sure you don't bring the Starbucks and think you're going to walk in and go inside the arena. There will be a nice young lady or gentleman there to tell you, I'm sorry, you can't take that inside. You might have to go up a little hotter than you anticipated unless you go for the cold kind of drink. We'll jump us over there to the parking. It is the big dome there in Belton, Texas, just off I-35. Parking is anywhere that you see listed on the outside there. The entrance, you can go in the entrance by the flags. That'll bring you right into registration and the entrance for ticketing as well. If you notice, Warmup is still in the other building, so remember you will be going outside as you transition from the staging area to the warm-up area to the performance area. So you might need those warm-ups earlier in the day. I think it's going to be a beautiful week while we're down there next week. Rhonda, walk us through these day one and day two schedules if you would.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are excited to see you this coming Monday and Tuesday. If you'll look, we have the schedule already up on the cheer page. Will, if I could have you jump to our webpage, we're going to go to taps.biz, we're going to go to Fine Arts, and we're going to go to the cheer page. And at the very top, you'll see the red button that says Cheer Championship Schedule. And when you look at that, you will see that all of the schedules are up. On the slide that you're seeing is just an overview of what's coming up. All of these times are going to be approximate as we go through the day. You'll see that the first warm-up is going to start at about 9 o'clock, and so our first performance will probably go off about 9:30. Then you can see everything that's going to take place on day one. Those are our larger schools, our 5A and 6A schools, so you can go through that schedule. Also, if you'll go to day two, it's the same thing, starting about 9 o'clock for our first warm-up, 9:30 our first performance, but still knowing that all times are approximate as we move through the day. But these full schedules are on the cheer page where Will just took us. Now, when you first show up and you go into registration, this is where we are going to be verifying your rosters, your captains, skills. If you turned anybody in that was doing skills and then they decided to not do it, or vice versa. If you didn't turn them in and they decided to, this is where we're going to get all of that checked in, your mascots, and then also this is where you will provide payment for this year's competition. And we are going to ask that you, this is where you'll pay when you do that, and that you will turn in your hotel information. Brian?
just going back here in the past, we've had an area in there where we said this was your time to register. If you look at that schedule and you've been there before, that's not there anymore, so you can register as soon as you get there. One of the important things I do believe is that you come in as a team, you go find your seats in the arena as a team, you get that all done, and then come down and register and make sure we take care of business. So again, I think it's very important that you come in as a team, get your folks situated, then come on down and register when the line's a little smaller. If you want to, you can leave somebody behind while you go sit down, and they can do that registration process for you. I will ask this, we will be live streaming, and I know the announcers appreciate it as well. If you do have captains or officers who have names that are difficult to pronounce, Rhonda Smith is not that hard for me, but sometimes Bunselmeyer is a little troublesome for folks. So if you've got some phonetic spellings there, it would sure help us. And make sure that you do give due to your captains and officers, as our the color commentator on the stream will definitely want to be able to give recognition to them as they come into the arena. Okay, Rhonda, they've registered now. What do they do in warm-up?
All right, as you said, they are going to come in as a team, but here's the thing. We did not put a check-in time, but we need to make sure that you allow for that others may be coming at different times too, and you want to allow for time to get there, because you should be in your warm-up area at least 10 minutes prior to your scheduled time. So make sure you've allotted time to stand in line, or like Brian said, have someone stand in line for you so they're on time. Only the team members and coaches are allowed in the warm-up, so no parents, no spectators, nobody but team and coaches. CHAI will be on site with a trainer if they are needed. There will be one in the warm-up area and then also out on the arena floor too, so they will both be covering us. Brian, did you have something to add on that?
Just looking forward again to seeing Larry Lasky and Dr. Smarava.
Yes.
Dr. Smarava has been really great to have these years, and his specialty is dance and cheerleaders, amongst other things. So really glad to have Children's Health Andrews Institute on site to keep us healthy, both on and off. We've had a few incidents off the mat, so they'll be there to take care of us both days.
Okay, and also in the warm-up room, there will be a speaker with a phone adapter that will be in there, so you will be able to play your music. And as we are talking about music, if your music needs to be on a tablet, iPod, or iPhone, and depending on what you're using, please make sure that you've removed the cover, turn it to airplane mode, and turn it all the way up. You are going to be responsible for supplying somebody to start the music. We will not be providing that person, so you need to make sure that someone is there to start and stop that. Bring your own adapters. We will have an auxiliary cord, but just make sure you have everything that you're going to need to play your music when you get down there.
There's no need to panic when you get there. If the music doesn't play right away, or if we have difficulty with music, obviously our judges, they've been in your shoes as well. Chris has always made it right. So understand we're going to give it our best shot, and then we're going to be moved further on.
Once you're ready to do your performance, know that only your team and your coaches are going to be allowed on the actual arena floor. Your coaches can test their music beforehand, make sure that it works. And your fans, though, will have a spot down to the right of the judges. They'll be marked off an area where they can come down and cheer you on while your team is performing, and then they'll leave as soon as you do. Your ladies are going to enter from the back, and they can lay out their props and take their positions. The announcer will then say, are you ready? And your captain can say, nod, wave, whatever they do, shake their pom-poms, whatever. They can do that. The coach then will start and stop the music. Then the very next thing they're going to do is take a photo, and once that photo is taken, they will exit the stage. And Brian, do you want to tell us a little bit about the photo?
Again, let's remember that you're only going to do the photo after the first performance
Yes.
of the day. So that morning's or early afternoon's first performance, Liz Park of Liz Park Photography is on site. She'll get them posed, get it just right. We'll take that pose, and away we'll go. I will tell you that depending on the size of your squad, whether it be large or small, go ahead and rehearse that pose. It's always a little better than somebody thinking, how are we going to do this? So let's make sure we get that right. There will be a coach's review that is in your schedule approximately 30 minutes after your performance ends. Your coach can come down, and definitely we encourage you picking up your critiques at that point. Going over to the coach's review with the staff at Express Cheer, they'll go through what they saw on the routine. They'll also also, especially in the morning, go over ways that you might want to improve for the final round. And they're over there for any questions or for any scoring review. Every now and then we get a score that comes in a little off, and they can help fix that as well. So we're really excited about that. I'm really excited about this next thing, and that's going to be the Mascot Contest. It's grown over the years from 2 to I think we've got 13 or so this year, maybe 15. So you can register up until the lunchtime of that second performance. You'll check in backstage when you're called down. Bring all your props with you. Mascots may have to help set it up and break down. Again, sometimes it's a very elaborate mascot scene. You need a whole bunch of people to go. But again, you can be down on the floor, so go help them set up and come back. So we'll jump back over to the website, www.taps.biz. Click on Fine Arts, click on Cheer, and then you'll scroll down to the mascot video. If you haven't seen this, or if you've got somebody that's encouraged, you only got a week to work it up. Still encourage you. If your mascot's there, let's go ahead and try to help them get in the game as well. Watch those videos. Rhonda, in addition to the mascot, we also have individual skills and then the team awards, etc. Go over what the individual skills are all about, and then talk about the awards for us.
All right. Well, we do have 2 individual skills. We have jumps and tumbles, and so they're going to be asked to check in backstage at the arena at the end of the large squad performances. There is also going to be stunt groups. I believe last year we had a few on each day, and so that will also take place during this time, and they will all be at the back. Just at the conclusion of the large squad. Now, please make sure before the afternoon break that they are registered and that they are also in rank 1 prior to you coming. Make sure that they're listed in rank 1 and that they're compliant. You can make those additions at the registration area prior to the second team performances. Yes.
Rhonda, we have some squads that are bigger and some squads that are smaller. Do they actually have to participate in the squad performance in order to do the individual skills contest?
Actually, no, they do not. If you do not have a team that wants to come and is ready to come and compete, they can do just the jumps, tumbles, and if you have a stunt squad that can come, you are welcome to just bring those in, and you don't have to come bright and early in the morning to register. You could come before the lunch hour and get them signed up and ready to go. But yeah, you can just bring the individuals if you don't have a team. Also, after the performance rounds, if let's say we do jumps first, if they're not doing tumbles, then they are just going to be released to go back to the stands. However, if they're doing jumps and tumbles, they'll stick around until they call for them, but they won't go up and down in the stands. But once they're done, they can go back into the stands and root for their teammates. At the end of the day, when we do team awards, the top 4 schools will be the ones that are presented with awards. They'll be given plaques and team medals, and every squad that has performed that receives a superior performance will also receive a plaque. So during the awards, those will take place. You also, at the time of jumps and tumbles, will be giving out jump company certificates and medals to those who I think last year they took them down to like the top 8 that made the jump company, tumble company, and those will get certificates and medals to go. And same thing with mascots. I think we did first and second, and they'll get medals and certificates also. The All-State teams, Brian, tell us just a little bit about that, please.
All-State teams for cheer are in the same vein as All-State for everything else we do. There's first team, second team, and honorable mention. So depending on how the judges wish to award them based on team finish and et cetera, your school, as the coach, you will nominate the folks that you believe should be eligible for All-State. You'll rank those in order at registration, and then when we get through with the day, we'll go back and pick first team, second team, and honorable mention. We'll make those announcements. We won't necessarily award the young ladies and young gentlemen at that time. We'll give them in your bag as you pick them up. If you're first team or second team and you're a junior or senior with a cumulative GPA or 90 better, you're also eligible to become the academic All-State team. So again, academic All-States made through rank 1. So after all the competitions are over, you got a week to go back. Who made first team? Who made second team? Are they a junior or senior? Go back and ask the registrar, do they have a 90 or better GPA? And then make sure you make those nominations. Rhonda, once we have done the individual skills, we've done the mascots, all the team competitions are over, what's that awards presentation actually going to look like?
Well, we're going to do like we've done the last couple of years. We will invite each team's coach and their captain or co-captain, just their officers, to come down on the mat, and then that's where we will do all of our presentations. We'll do the individual awards, then we will announce those. Then we will announce the team awards, which would be, we'll start with superior ratings, and then we'll go to the top 4, and we'll go 4, 3, 2, and then crown our champion. And they will be presented with, we will have all of the medals to give to the coaches and their officers at that time, and their banners and whatever, all the goodies that they're going to win and go home with, we will present those at that time, and then they'll be able to return to the arena stands. And we will do that by divisions. We'll have one division down on the floor, do the presentations, we'll dismiss you to the stands, and we'll bring down the next division, and so on, so forth. And that will be the same for both days. At this time, John, our media director, is going to talk about a little bit about our media that's available.
Thank you, Rhonda. Okay. So Brian's already mentioned we're going to have a photographer on site. She's going to be photographing each performance, and she's going to be doing the team photo at the end of the first performance. Those photos will be available after the championship. It's going to take a little time to get them processed. We're using the same photographer and the same media staff for the football state championship, which just finished the Saturday before cheer got started, so it's going to take time to get all of those available. But you're going to be able to find those by visiting taps.biz/photos. Those photos are free to download. You can order prints if you want to, but you don't have to. All those downloads are free. They are full resolution. Your school publications can use them if you want. We've seen them used in yearbooks and on websites and stuff, and that's fine. All of that rights are included in your TAPS membership. We're also going to be live broadcasting each performance. You can find that on the TAPS TV network. You can download the TAPS TV app on any smartphone, tablet, or smart TV, Apple TV, Amazon, Fire, all that stuff. Or you can visit tapstvnetwork.com, and you'll see the streams for the first and second day of the cheer state championship. We've got social media accounts. Our Twitter account for cheer is @TAPSCheer. We're going to have live updates and results. Results graphics at the end of the day. Those are all going to go there. So if you're documenting and you're publishing your team's journey to state, go ahead and include us. Mention us on that. We like to see that stuff. We like to retweet that. Facebook, we are @TAPSBiz, and Instagram @TAPSBiz, but the majority of our content is going to be @TAPSCheer. And of course, the cheer webpage on taps.biz. One more thing, we do have our podcast Taps Talk and This Week in Taps, and we've got 2 episodes up currently on cheer. One of them is a deep dive into the cheer with interviews from coaches who've been through the championship. You've got sound from the awards from the championship itself. That's a very audio-rich story, and that's available for you. It's from 2 years ago, but we republished it recently. You may have seen it in your feed. And we've also got a shorter episode with some interviews from staff and sound from previous championships. We're going to be conducting more interviews if we can, if there's time, and of course gathering sound and video and stills all throughout the championship, and we're going to make that available afterwards. You can subscribe to Taps Talk on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, or you can stream every episode on our website. That's taps.biz/talk. And now I'm going to hand it back to Rhonda, and we'll get through the rest of the presentation.
Thank you, John. Okay, going down to tickets. Obviously, if your students and your staff are on your roster, you do not have to have a ticket. But like Brian said, if y'all come in as a group, we'll let you in as a group, and it's a whole lot easier to get you all in when you come in as a group, and we don't have to worry about that. But anybody else who is attending needs to have a ticket. They can purchase those online through TAPS Tickets, and they can purchase them in advance or the day of the contest, but there will not be any on-site cash or credit cards taken that day. If you go to our website, taps.biz, on the home page, there's 4 large buttons. One says tickets on it. If they click on that, scroll down to make sure they're choosing which day they want to buy a ticket, if they're day 1 or day 2, but that's where they're going to go and purchase the tickets. Also, we are going to be sending out an email to you, directors, that will contain all of the fan information that you need. And I cannot stress how important it is that you actually do share this with your fans. That way they know how to go get the tickets beforehand, and they're not frustrated trying to hurry to get in to see their daughter or granddaughter to perform. So we need to make sure, please, please, please. And you can find this on our website on the cheer page. We'll also have that posted. But we will be sending out fan information, and we ask you to disseminate that that to your people also. At this time, I'm going to turn this over to Brian and have any ending thoughts for us.
Again, we're just so excited. We're coming off of TAPS Football 2022 right into TAPS Cheer 2022. Couldn't think of two greater things to end off the 2022 season with. We're excited to be there. We're glad to be going back to Bell County Expo Center. They've been great hosts over the years, and we can't say enough to Express Cheer. Thank you, Chris Hansen, and all of your staff for all you do to make TAPS Cheer what it is. Again, information, www.taps.biz. Our email, info at taps.biz, or give us a call here at the TAPS office, 254-947-9268. I will tell you that Belton, Texas is on the I-35 corridor. If at any point you have trouble getting there or something's going on your traffic gets in the way, please reach out to us, 254-947-9268. We'll be answering the phone even on the days of competition. Info at taps.biz. And as always, the cheer page, go to www.taps.biz. Click on Fine Arts and click on Cheer. TAPS Cheer 2022 coming your way shortly.